Welcome to Gamers Platform. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Adam Wolf from Gamers Platform, and in this video I've got another update video for you from PUBG. Anyway, so we're looking at update number 4, or I'm going to call it 1.0.4, okay, or 1.4. I guess we could just say 1.4. There doesn't need to be a 0 there. And again, it's a pretty small patch. It's about 5 gigs, and you know, it'll take you a couple minutes to download it, but yeah, we're looking at a very small patch. And so we're just going to go over those changes really quickly. Probably not going to be a very long video. But luckily, my first and only game I played that you guys are watching right now actually landed me on Miramar, which is it seems to be the focus of this patch. So it was definitely lucky. I like the fact that I just got right into Miramar because that's what I wanted. Anyway, okay, so we've got 3 sections. We got the changes to the world, changes to replay mechanic, and of course changes to bugs, or bug fixes, I should say, not changes to bugs. We're going to start off with the world. Miramar improvements. Okay, that's just one bullet point. Whatever. Added more buildings and cover across the map to improve the engagement experience. I'm going to pull up a visual of the previous map and now a visual of the new one, and I can't say that they're wrong obviously, but the majority of the cover in the world, they haven't added any new cities or anything like that. It's really just been maybe more trees, more rocks, and certainly a lot more like shacks or like small buildings. Like I'm talking like outhouse type buildings, you know, the ones that you come across that have nothing in them. That's really the majority of what I've seen in the playthrough I just finished up. I didn't see too much in the way of like big buildings. You know, when I look at the comparisons between the original map and this one, maybe I'll see some differences, maybe I'll see some big buildings, but as far as I can tell, it's really just a bunch of small buildings that you can, you know, stop in case you're like getting into a scuffle, if you will. So there is more cover, but it's all small cover, so they didn't really based on my experience, add too many big buildings or anything like of significance. So, but they did add something. Added more off-road routes for easier vehicle navigation. I didn't come across any of those. I'm sure they're there. I just didn't use a vehicle in this playthrough. You know, I'm sure they're there, but we'll have to see once we compare the 2 maps, see if if you can see any terrain changes and whatnot. And if not, you know, they're probably just only visual when you're in the game. Last point is upgraded the item spawn level of certain areas for loot balancing. Some areas will spawn better loot. I gotta say, I don't know if I got lucky. I'm gonna have to play more of the game to obviously see if either I got lucky or this change is actually in effect. But in this playthrough, I not only got decent weapons, but I also found suppressors for both my weapons, which I never actually find. I never find assault rifle and shotgun suppressors. It's damn near impossible for me to even come across those things. I found you know, level 2 backpack pretty quickly, level 2 helmet pretty quickly. Those are generally not too hard to come across, but suppressors for assault rifles and shotguns, those are extremely rare for me to find. Me personally, I don't know about anybody else, but if this was due to the fact that they increased the item spawn level in certain areas, then that's great. If it's just due to the fact that I got lucky, great. But you know, I hope that it's the former and not the latter. You know, I really want that update in particular to actually be in effect, and I didn't just get lucky. You know, I'd like to actually come across more good things when I'm playing these games, because I tell you what, there's been some games where I could run for days and not find a single assault rifle. I'll be stuck with a pistol for like 10 minutes just trying to find an assault rifle. Same thing with backpacks and stuff, and it's so annoying when you pick a decent drop point, you know, kind of rural. You know, if you're playing solo, it's fine, but if you're playing squads, you want to pick a more populated area in terms of buildings and whatnot. But if you're picking like solo and you go out in the middle of nowhere where you know people aren't going to be spawning in or flying in, and you know, you got all these buildings to yourself and not one building has anything good in it, it's like, what the hell, man? I'm playing strategically here. I'm trying to survive. And so you know, I gotta say my drop point was I was lucky enough to land where there were like 5 buildings, and each of the buildings had at least something in them that I could take, which was great. So I'm happy about that. Moving on to the replay changes, there's only one bullet point, and it says the replay system has now been updated to a newer version, and past replay files cannot be played anymore. So if you had those some replays that you really were like, oh, this is a great game, or some epic moment happened in it, you can't play them anymore. So why they refuse to, I don't know, add backwards compatibility to the replay system? I don't know. Just because you come out with a newer version doesn't mean you should just automatically delete the replays that people actually want to save. I mean, what the hell, guys? Are you kidding me? That's kind of a dick move, if you ask me. And the bug fixes, there's only 4 bullet points. Fix the issue where heal and boost items could be used underwater. I can see this being an issue, just because I've never done it myself, but I can see this being an issue. One, because if you're like underwater trying to hide from somebody and you accidentally hit your boost or heal item button and your character starts to go into the animation, you're still underwater, you're kind of suffocating. But on the other side of that, I also see it being a problem if you know, I've never tried to shoot somebody in the water where they were underwater. Oh no, scratch that. I have, and I haven't been successful. So if the water acts as like a shield for that person and they're just able to get their health back while they're in the water, kind of cheap. So I guess that's okay. I never did it, so it doesn't really make much of a difference to me. But if you ever experience somebody or even yourself, you know, healing underwater and either suffocating due to the animation length or the fact that somebody was healing while you were trying to shoot them, that I can see being an issue. Fix the issue where characters would get stuck in certain areas on Miramar. I mean, I haven't really experienced that myself. I think I came across one time a pit in a construction yard that was, my friend John had pointed out that's technically a stuck spot. Like, you can get out, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. And, you know, you don't want to get stuck in there. So if they've maybe like either removed that or, you know, other areas like that where players would get stuck, great. You know, the better the terrain is, the better the experience, because we're not going to have to worry about getting stuck anywhere. You know, like the vehicles getting stuck on fences and whatnot. Fix the issue where wall textures on some Miramar buildings were not displaying correctly. I mean, with the update number 3, I had experienced textures taking a while to load in. So, and I know they haven't really been great in the past, but, you know, now I'm loading in faster, you know, ahead of the timer even in the pre-match lobby. And the textures are also kind of like struggling to load in. So, yeah, that's fine. And fix the issue. Last one is to fix the issue where certain buildings nearby Hacienda del Patron were not displaying correctly. And I don't know if I've ever been there. To be honest, I don't know if I've been in that city. So I couldn't tell you if they were not displaying correctly or not. And that's it. That's the patch. 5 gigs. I think the most significant part of this patch was the changes to Miramar. Definitely adding things and improving the loot is not a bad idea. Miramar is a very open map, and you're susceptible to sniper fire all the time. And so it's kind of nice to know that between major building sets, you'll have little bits of cover, maybe little buildings here and there that you can maybe duck into in case you get into a firefight, which is really nice. So I'm happy about that. Maybe when I play with my friends later on, I will be able to see the different routes that they've made for easier vehicle navigation, and you know, we can be happy that we have more cover. In terms of like the first bullet point, Miramar improvements, you know, like what improvements? You want to maybe, I don't know, go into detail on that, or maybe that's just the title of all these bullet points. I have no idea. I just think that if they went into detail a little bit more, that would not be so vague. But whatever. One problem I don't want to forget before I end the video. One problem I have is, why is PUBG Corp the only company I know that has to shut down their servers for 2 hours every time they release a patch? This is not the first time it's happened. It's damn near happened with every single patch. What the hell, guys? Like, every other company can release a patch, have you download it, and then just allow you to play again. So why can't you guys do it? Like, what are you doing? They say it's for maintenance. It's like, no, it's because you released a patch. That's your maintenance. I don't understand. Don't kick us off the servers because you released a patch and you're not like, what are you doing? You're the only company I know that does that. Stop doing that. You can release a patch without having to shut the damn servers down. Terrible. But that's the patch for update 1.4. And as you guys can imagine, of course, this is not the patch that people want, and the comments are still flooded with region lock China and stuff like that. You know, people aren't really too happy with the non-progress that PUBG Corp is making with their region locking, or whatever fix they decide to go with to separate the player base in different countries. Because honestly, it's like, the other night I ran into another cheater, don't know where he was from, don't care, reported him, but it seems to be that and this made a lot of sense, that I was told by one of Skittles' fellow streamers, that the cheaters mostly reside on the third-person servers. So if you're kind of getting into a whole slew of cheaters, you're running into them all the time, playing in first person actually will yield a little bit less cheating on it. I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. I've never run into a cheater while I was playing first person, but you know, it's kind of sad because third person is my favorite, but you know, what are you going to do? It makes sense because, you know, they have a wider field of view, so they can see who they want to cheat on, and that's about it. But it made sense when I was told that. So if you are experiencing any cheaters, try first person mode. I think you'll like it. I'm getting used to it. Definitely makes the game a little bit more intense because you can't look around corners anymore. So but yeah, people's reaction to this one are still the same. Still hating it. So what are you gonna do? People are people, and they're gonna hate you until you do what they want. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you're watching this on Twitch, don't forget to follow the channel so you know when I go live. I go live on the weekends, 12 noon to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Definitely check out the channel, and if you're watching this on YouTube, give it a thumbs up if you like this video. If you hate this patch and you're all in on the region lock China thing, give it a thumbs down, and check the links in the video description, both sites below, especially the one for Extra Life. Still trying to raise that $200. It's 2018, and that means with a new year comes a new campaign. So we're trying to raise money for children's charity. If you can't give, don't worry, it's a $200 goal again, so I have no doubts we will reach that goal. But if you can, don't hesitate to donate. Until next time, guys, I'm Adam Wolf. This is PUBG, and I will see you guys in the next one.